Hello everybody and welcome to today's Destiny video. So I'm going to be showing you which modifiers are on all of the weekly activities this week and which order you should do them in. So obviously before you start any of the weeklies, it's really beneficial to go to Erismorn and pick up the Nightfall bounty, which is kill any mages or ultras in a Nightfall activity. So you want to grab that on all of your characters. Also, you want to always, whenever you're doing the weeklies, go over to Xander, over here, and check if he has any Nightfall related bounties. So this would be quite a decent one to pick up, just because it's a hive mission. So get that one. The weekly is Vex, so probably grab that one. That one's probably a decent one to pick up. Fusion rifles is up to you, depends if you use them. And that one is not relevant. So you want to pick up anything what is relevant before you start any kind of Nightfall. Sometimes there is a bounty for completing the Nightfall or Heroic. You want to pick that up before you start. So I'm going to go to Orbit now and show you all of the weeklies, all of the Prison of Elders, all of that stuff. So that you can do it in a decent order and so you're a little bit more prepared when you're doing it with your fire team. Okay, so we're in Orbit now. Let's have a look at destinations. So first on the list of things you should do is the Nightfall. Now the reason you should do the Nightfall first is because you get the XP buff, meaning that all of your rep gains from everything else you do in the whole week is increased by a whole, I think it's 20%, but I might be wrong. I think it might be 22% or 25%. I actually haven't looked into that ever, so I'm not sure. But either way, the Nightfall this week is Omnigull, which is the Will of Crota Strike, Epic modifier, Nightfall modifier, Angry modifier, Juggler modifier, and Void Burn. And now the rewards you can get from this are just Etheric Light, Exotic Armor, Exotic Weapons, Legendary Weapons, Strange Coins, Legendary Engrams, stuff like that. They're the stuff you can expect to find from a Nightfall Strike. Next up, we've got the weekly Heroic Strike. This time we've just got Grounded and Heroic. Playing this on the hardest difficulty will get you 9 Strange Coins, 10 Vanguard Marks, and 400 Vanguard Rep. And now with the Nightfall buff, that turns into 499 Rep. So that's always worth doing. So let's head over to the Reef now. Okay, so on the Prison of Elders, we have the first one, which is a level 32. We have Cult of the Worm, which is last week's 34. So if you're unfamiliar, Cult of the Worm last week had Vex with Airborne in the first area, and then Hive with Grounded, Vex with Void Burn, Hive with Angry, and then the actual Gulrot was Exposure. And he's Hive. So he's Hive, so you've got to watch out for him. That's Exposure. Okay, so let's move on to the 34. But this is Broken Legion again. So this one's finally cycled round. So it's Valos Tarug. If you're unfamiliar with his strategy, he is the one with the changing shields. He's the one from the first week. So this week it goes in this order. So it starts off with Cabal with Juggler, Hive with Light Switch, Fallen with Catapult, Hive with Brawler, and then the final boss is Cabal with Juggler. So let's move on to the 35. So this week it is obviously Skolas again. It's always Skolas. However, the actual rooms change. So the first one is Hive with Exposure and Brawler, and then Vex with Grounded and Airborne, Cabal with Catapult and Arc Burn, Fallen with Specialist and Juggler, and then Skolas himself is Trickle and Small Arms. And then I'll go through the rewards real quick. So the first one, you get 200 rep with House of Judgment, an Armor Core, and the chests. And then with the 34, you get House of Judgment rep of 300, a Weapon Core, Etheric Light, and the chests. And then Skolas himself gives you 500 House of Judgment rep, a Weapon Core, an Armor Core, an Etheric Light, and the chests. So that is all for today's weekly activities. Obviously, there's other things you can do, like you can go to the moon, you can go do the raid, you can go to Venus, go do the other raid, you can do some weekly strikes, you can do some Crucible even. This week's Crucible is Elimination. I'm not sure if that's going to change tonight, because usually the actual game type changes at night time, so we'll see about that. But yeah, that has been my video, guys. If you liked it at all or found it helpful, then please like it, comment on it, subscribe, share it with your friends, all that jazz, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye, Guardians.